Your body slammed into the plaintiff's parked car.
That's correct.
When your body slammed into her car, it created a dent in the car,
That is correct.
causing damage to the car. That's why the plaintiff is here.
That's correct.
This happened on what date?
August 21st, 2020.
2020.
Correct.
Oh, that's a bad dent. What year car is this?
2013,
What kind?
Dodge Challenger.
Have you had it for long?
About 4 years.
Still have it?
Yes.
And what were you doing in the complex?
I'm a groundskeeper and manager of the complex.
What were you doing at 4:30?
I opened my door and I was dog watching.
You opened the door
Yeah.
of your own apartment.
Yes, ma'am. And the puppy got out.
So you were puppy sitting.
Puppy sitting.
How old is the puppy?
She was at the time about 4 months, 3 months.
Well, there's a difference between two and
4 months.
What kind of dog?
Siberian Husky.
So a big puppy.
Yeah, medium size, yeah.
Puppy got out and you were chasing the puppy
Yeah,
all around the complex.
kind of, yeah. Pretty fast.
And it was at that time that you slammed into the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
And now I'm going to ask you to tell me why you think that you're not responsible for this damage. I've read it, but I want you to tell me.
Okay, well, where she was parked at the time is a fire lane where you're not supposed to park at. And there's been photographs of her been tagged not to park there. And when I went to chase the puppy, I slipped on the gravel and the rocks next to the car. And that's when my body went into the car accidentally and damaged it. I don't dispute that I did not do that. I did that part. But the part is the fact that where she was parked at, if her car wasn't there in the first place, it would have never happened.
That's what I read as your defense. So your defense was the car was parked in the wrong place, and if it had not been parked there, you would have slipped and fallen, but you would have fallen on the ground instead.
Yes,
And not damaged her car.
absolutely right.
Okie dokie. That's an interesting defense. I mean, it's some sort of a defense. It doesn't fly here as a defense, but it's a defense. The proximate cause of her car becoming damaged was your body falling into it. And the proximate cause of your body falling into her car was because you negligently let the puppy out of the apartment. That was the reason. You know, if the puppy ran out into the street and ran in front of a car, and the car swerved and hit a child who was crossing in the middle of the street, you would say, that's not my fault because the child was crossing in the middle of the street. If the child wasn't crossing in the middle of the street, he wouldn't gotten hurt. You negligently let the dog out. It was what we call an accident. It wasn't an on purpose, but it was your fault. More than her fault, it was your fault. If you hadn't let the dog out, and if her car was parked in the fire lane, she could have gotten a ticket. She could have gotten towed, but she wouldn't have had a dent in her car.
Her boyfriend at the time, or her husband at the time, or still the time, came to my door an estimate of $500, and from what I'm hearing now it's $2,500. So I don't know how that jumped up to that.
I don't know either.
It was originally $500 because that was just like a quick look at it.
Who's quick look at it?
The first estimate that we obtained.
Well, if you got a first estimate of $500, why don't I have that?
Because that shop is not open anymore.
There's a big difference between $500 and what you're suing him for, which is $2,500. Would you look up the value of a 2013, what kind of car?
Dodge Challenger.
Dodge Challenger.
So based upon a 100,000 mile estimate, it's 10,000 to 13,000.
Did you have it fixed? When we hesitate, we have a problem. Do you understand? Did you have it fixed?
No.
Why?
I didn't want my insurance company to pay for it because I didn't want my premiums and monthly costs to go up.
Well, that's a problem. Do you have a deductible?
Yes.
How much is your deductible?
$1,000.
That's what you have insurance for. And the accident was not your fault. Your premium shouldn't go up at all. You better be able to get the car fixed for $1,000 because that's all you're getting from the defendant. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. We're finished. Thank you very much.